미국에서는 크리스마스면 TV 애니메이션 피너츠의 크리스마스 특별편, 찰리 브라운의 크리스마스를 보는 것이 하나의 전통이라고 합니다. 이 애니메이션에서 라이너스라는 캐릭터가 크리스마스의 진정한 의미를 나눕니다.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
라이너스는 간단하지만 강력한 방법으로 누가복음에 나오는 예수님의 탄생 이야기를 이어나갑니다.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
원작자인 만화가 찰스 슐츠는 크리스마스의 진정한 의미를 다룬 특별편 제작을 주장했습니다. 그는 애니메이션 제작진이 망설이자 우리가 하지 않으면 누가 하느냐고 말했다고 합니다. 찰스 슐츠의 영적인 삶과 작업을 탐구한 찰리 브라운 릴리전의 저자인 스티븐 린드 박사는 그가 확고한 입장을 보였다고 말했습니다.
There were actually quite a few things in the special that the executives and some of his creative partners were not too sure about, from the jazz music to the children voice actors and including the religious reference that got quite a bit of pushback. Charles Schulz really planted his feet on a lot of those creative decisions. And at the end of the day, when the studio executives viewed the special, even though they were very wary about it, as it turns out, they did not have a lot of time to come up with a new special, and they had already advertised for it. So because of the scheduling, they were kind of stuck to go with Schultz's creative vision, and as it turns out, the public loved it.
1965년 12월에 선보인 특별편은 극찬을 받았고 프라임타임 에미상에서 최우수 어린이 프로그램상을 수상했습니다.
In the 1960s, when it first aired, there were lots of letters sent in to Schultz and the sponsor, Coca-Cola, telling them that the viewers were so gratified to see a substantive reference to religion on TV. Some of those letters from the 1960s sound like they could have been written today. A Charlie Brown Christmas is still quite the beloved classic.
포커스 온 더 패밀리의 폴 바투라는 슐츠를 극찬합니다.
I think people look forward to it every year. I think it centers people. You know, our first impressions make a big impression. And for most of us, we saw Charlie Brown Christmas when we were 3, 4, 5 years old. And that sticks with us. And we're reminded when we hear that voice, when we hear the reading of the Gospel of Luke, we're reminded why we celebrate Christmas. And so I think it has had a very much a net positive impact on the world.
슐츠의 신앙은 오랜 시간에 걸쳐 면밀히 검토됐습니다. 그는 근본주의자 크리스천, 보편주의자, 무신론자라고 불렸습니다. 전하는 바에 따르면 슐츠는 말년에 자신을 세속적 인본주의자라고 칭했습니다. 린드 박사는 슐츠의 신앙이 주관적이었다고 표현했습니다.
A biblical faith that was maybe more nuanced than some of the denominational dogma that some of his peers would have, but it was a personal biblical faith that he would talk to close confidants about over the years and include in his strips, even if it was a little bit more nuanced and broad than some of the traditional teachings.
Some have tried to sanctify him and some have tried to vilify him, even accusing him of some heretical beliefs. I think the reality is he was somewhere in the middle. And I say that because look at the fruit of his work. Look at what he produced and look at what we still enjoy today. And I have a very, very good feeling about where Charles Schulz was with his Christian faith.
리젠트 대학교 신학대학의 콤베커 학장은 슐츠의 작품을 잘 살펴봐야 한다고 말했습니다.
I think Schulz would want us to judge his legacy and the person that he is based on the material that he put out there. And when we look at the comic strip, when we look at Peanuts, when we look at the Christmas special, what an extraordinary legacy of not only faith, but also the meaning of community. We are stronger when we come together.
찰스 슐츠의 마음과 믿음은 하나님만이 진실로 아실 것입니다. 확실한 것은 그가 창조한 어린 소년이 해마다 세상에 예수 그리스도에 대해 이야기하고 있다는 것입니다.